Welcome back to Lost Dimensions' second playthrough. I am just about ready to take on that New Game Plus exclusive mission on the first floor, but before that, I want to check my visions. Now, I played a few missions, and I've replayed a few ones that I've already done. I'm still doing all the missions off camera just to make sure that I have enough experience in this run, but basically, and I've been raising trust a little bit, so vote forecast is surprising to see Mana so low, but yeah, seems like she's kind of low at the moment. However, here's the thing at the moment. I may have narrowed down who the three voices could be for this floor. It's actually harder on the first floor because there's so many people. So yeah, that's annoying, but I might have narrowed it down. Unfortunately, Marco seems to be one of them. Oh, if I lose Marco on the first floor, if Marco turned out to be a traitor on the first floor, if I'm that unlucky, it'll take 3 playthroughs before I get to see the true final boss. And yes, I have been informed of exactly how the true ending works now. You can get the true ending if you have traitors with you, but to get the true final boss, you have to have no traitors. So that means if Marco is the traitor for this floor, then it's going to take me 3 playthroughs to get the true final boss. That's just how it is. But this seems to be the only combination of voices that makes sense. Basically, I've got one voice here, and I've determined that it cannot possibly be Mana or Jimeno. And it probably can't be Sojiro either. Now, see, yeah, 2 voices here and it would be these 2. 2 voices here and it's these 2. I've noticed that every single group that Marco was in had 2 voices. So that was a little suspicious. And 2 voices here and it would be these 2. So this seems to all check out. Now this could be wrong, but I'm going to do something to test this. I'm going to go into this mission and deploy none of those 3. Meaning that if I have them right, I won't get any voices after this quest. So, time to head out to Memory Difference. Somehow he recognizes the sights and enemies. Is Sho getting memories of past playthroughs or something? Anyway, we got 2 Arbarases here, and yeah, so going back to the very beginning of the game, we're all low-leveled. Yeah, Arbarases, I'm used to them being pathetic. They're definitely not at this point in the game. Sojiro's status attacks actually do kind of help here, so again, I'm not using in this mission Marco, Nagi, or Toya. So let's build a party using, I probably want to use Mana because she's at the bottom of the rankings at the moment. Now, Sojiro's status attacks, like I was saying, can be kind of useful against these bosses, so I might go for that. Might want to show off a little bit of what George can do as well, because, he's actually quite powerful. Maybe Jimeno, and I suppose we could use... Who's lowest on the vote forecast? I guess Zenji is, so... Guess we should probably bring him. So, let's go. Just realized I'm probably going to have to grind out a whole bunch of other quests just to get everyone's suspicions diverted to the right person. Because at the moment, Marco's quite high on the rankings, and if he turns out to be the traitor, that could be a, well... Turns out to be the traitor, I can't erase him, so...
Let's do this.
That's going to be bad. Okay, now, each of the New Game Plus exclusive missions, from what I've read, has a tips file. Thankfully, this one is very, very obvious. And it's been a while since we heard this music. Anyway, let's pick this file up. Max Letter 1, Dear Kate. Who are Mac and Kate? I have absolutely no idea. Anyway, something that I should kind of point out here. So, I have basically learned a whole bunch of the skills that I had later in the game. However, their GP costs are fairly expensive for our low levels. And that's actually kind of a problem sometimes, which I'll show you when I start moving Sojiro and George. Mainly George. Really? Big dramatic pause and then miss. Really? Okay, so let me just show you this. I've leveled up Mind's Eye to level 5. It costs 50 GP now. That is over half his GP. And it's an attack that you're meant to use repeatedly. So yeah, on a New Game Plus, it might be recommended not to level up your moves too much. Learning new moves is good, but if you level up earlier moves too much, you might find their GP cost gets so high that you can't even use them very often early on in the game. So there is a double-edged sword to the New Game Plus gift experience that you get. So be careful when leveling up those skills, because again, you might get to a point where you can't really use them very often. So I've got these things. See, look at this, look at this. Helmbreaker is too expensive for him to even use at all. Neck Slasher, high critical chance, a chance to instantly kill, or a chance to stun. Stun might actually be not bad here. Let's try this. And it's stunned. Good. Something to note that Hilt Bash is pretty much how they should have translated False Swipe in Pokemon, really. Because that's what its Japanese name essentially meant, hitting with the blunt end of a sword. Okay, now something very weird about Syndrome. And I can't say that without thinking about the main villain of The Incredibles. But the weird thing about this is, it says here, chance to inflict confusion. In the last chapter, mission, whatever, I used this, and I inflicted poison. So, either that means this is affected by Sojiro's regular attacks have a chance to poison, or it's affected by Sojiro's side effects class ability, not class ability, like mastery ability, where every single attack has a random chance of causing statuses. So, that's a little weird. And that did nothing.
Here I go.
George is definitely very powerful. That's one thing I will say. So as I was saying, I've been checking, like, I was interested in the comparison between George and Mana in terms of stats. And George has more attack power, basically. He has more strength. But Mana has more, and he has more movement than Mana as well, but Mana has more vitality and HP. For some reason, her HP is enormous for this point in the game. I think it might be due to learning a few skills, but yeah, so Mana's actually more of a physical tank than a physical attacker. Kind of interesting. Doesn't look like... Oh yeah, the other thing about Mana is that most of her attacks don't have secondary effects. George's tend to actually, you know, have secondary effects. Wow, 80 GP. Yeah, these are very expensive for this point in the game. I am shoving my face in your face. Okay, I would kind of like to be able to debuff this guy, but... Actually, I did get, no, I am not going to use Self-Destruct. I did get Molten Decoy, which is actually pretty cool. Although the blast radius can quite easily catch your allies in it if you're not careful. One thing that I will say is, I really like Himenor's lava attacks. They're actually much more useful than most of her other moves, and to me they feel like they're really starting to... Okay, chance to decrease move. Basically, I feel like they're when Himenor starts getting really useful, actually. Kind of a shame that her other skills aren't... Well, I mean, they're good, but they're short-ranged, and she has terrible defenses. So, just tends to not really help. Can I box this guy in now that I think about it? I might actually be able to. Now, the problem is, if I link with Himenor, I get very bad defenses carried over, which might not be good when I'm trying to box someone in. So, gonna link with Mana. Earlier on, when I was playing this run, I was using Zenji for a while and realized that I didn't have Ability Link, and that makes him a heck of a lot weaker. Also, this Lucidity that increases his sanity every time he gets a crit, I've seen him do that quite a lot. Oh yeah, and you're stunned, so you can't actually do anything. Yay! Alright, let's see. I don't have critical strike. I do have combat alert though.
This is my chance.
And here I don't really need to worry so much about other like weaker enemies taking away the combat alert because there's only one thing that can shoot him. Now should I try lowering vitality? I think I should. And then chance to instantly kill mech type enemies, chance increases with more analyses. I keep forgetting how to pronounce that plural. The problem with that is actually analyzing the enemy costs an enormously expensive amount of GP now.
Take this.
Wow. Okay, yeah, so that's... Yeah, that's Sojiro's side effects mastery skill working there. Basically, every standard attack of his has a chance of inflicting statuses, so that might be quite useful later in the game. I've seen some people talking about how status attacks aren't... Well, status effects in general are quite rare in this game. Let me check something. So yeah, here's a problem with Pandemic. What this could do is, it spreads the target status elements, but if I use it here, I'll be hitting my allies and spreading them to the allies. But, just found out something. You can target allies with this. So, if one of your allies gets, like, poisoned or confused, you can make the best of a bad situation and pass that status on to the enemy. I think this skill's really interesting. I quite like it, actually. Oh, well, Sho's slightly hurt, so I may as well heal him.
Let's see to those wounds.
And yeah, I've leveled up heal quite a lot, so it's very effective now. I said back in the previous final battle that, that healing items tend to be more effective than healing gifts, for the most part. But when you've leveled up heal, it definitely does quite a lot. Scenery sensor!
I'll turn you to ash.
Okay, it's at about this point that I want to... Kind of wish there was some kind of burn status that Himeno could inflict or something.
Burn.
This is pretty much one of the few ways she has to gain assist attacks. I wonder if I can finish this thing. Kinda will have to, because we're running low on health here. Problem with Pain Sink is it's a psychic attack. Though I do like it when Yoko gets to use it, then it's amazing. Speaking of which, Yoko is kind of ridiculous because we can now use things like Psychic Assault at this point, at this early point in the game. So, yeah. Let's go for this though.
Come on! Come on!
I love that.
Ow.
I will admit that attack does really suit Zenji. Enemy phase, and I believe that thing is still stunned.
This looks bad.
No, this is not bad. This thing is asleep and charmed, which is pointless because the charm effect will only work if, yeah, if it can actually move.
On my way. On my way.
You can overheal allies? That sounds kind of stupid. Anyway, yeah. Also, we have this rejuvenation thing. This heals all allies, but it costs a huge amount of GP. So, in fact, we can't even use it at this point in the game. Let's just go for Strike of Samael. Well, definitely stung. This guy's got a ton of status effects on him now. I am kind of liking Sojiro's stack statuses gameplay style. It is pretty cool. This feels like one of those games where, so, really? There was no cutscenes, nothing to that mission apart from the tips file. Okay then. At least we got the S rank on our first try. Okay, everyone's level 10. That's pretty good. Now, if I did this right, there should be no voices here.
I don't have a clue who the traitor could be. It's best
This
if
could
you
mean
stop.
serious consequences.
Yep, I was right. I was right. Here's the problem, though. People are going to come and ask me who the traitor is, and I don't fully know who it is yet. But if it's Marco, I'm gonna completely rage.
Hey.
Oh. Oh, I'm definitely not telling you. You're on my suspect list. You're not. I don't think it's Yoko.
Huh?
Yeah, the votes are kind of being spread around a little at this point, so I might need to replay some missions. And an extra mission means more, well, just a bond conversation for Zenji that we've already done. Something that I should actually point out here, the skip start button option only appears if it's on dialogue that you've already seen before.
Seriously?
So whenever dialogue comes up that I have no idea what the context of this is. Okay, so, showing it here. There's no start to skip, which means this is dialogue that I haven't seen before. And then the skip button appeared again. So at least you know when there's dialogue that you haven't seen before, which is good. Now, here's the real question. No voices there, which means, thankfully, these two are safe for another floor. Oh no, Marco. I don't want you to be the traitor, and because of that, I am deep visioning you now. If you turn out to be the traitor, I'm gonna blame my luck once again, because that would just be, oh. That would just be terrible.
I see.
Losing one first floor. But on the plus side, if it's not Marco, then it's gotta be someone who I've already maxed the bond with, which means I can afford to lose them. Okay, Marco, please don't be the traitor.
That wasn't...
Hey, wait!
It's actually been a while since we've done one of these.
Do we really have to? We have to fight to survive. Necessary sacrifices. But we don't know who the traitor is. We can't trust anyone. So, was I was alone? I don't want to. What are we supposed to do? This is awful. All right. You expect us to kill them? All right. So, what now?
They're gone again.
This is awful.
Marco's lines here make me feel so bad for him.
Do we really have to? You mean we can't trust fight to survive? You expect us to kill them? Isn't that a little bleak? What are we supposed to do? But we don't know who the traitor is. We don't want to. How do we get ourselves involved in this?
Please, wait.
It feels like Marco's lines are a little different than the time where he was the traitor.
There's an enemy among us. You mean we can't trust anyone? Isn't that a little bleak?
This almost feels like, oh, please tell me.
We have to fight to survive.
Please don't be.
But
Please, please, come on. Oh no.
I'm so sorry, Sho.
No!
What do you mean? Marco, you're...
I knew it! Damn my luck to hell! First go! That really is just my terrible luck, isn't it? Wow! If you're wondering why I always pick a luck floor in Fire Emblem Awakening, that's why! Yeah! I pretty much have the worst luck in the entire world, and that just proved it. First go! Welp, guess we're not getting the true final boss this run! Anyway. Let's just see if, Mac's letter makes me feel any better. To my loving daughter, Kate. Interesting. Thank you so much for the picture you drew. It was the most wonderful present I could have hoped for. If you can believe it, I had completely forgotten about Father's Day. But I know next Sunday is your birthday, Kate. It's such an important day, and I wish I could come to the party, but it looks like Daddy won't be able to make it this year. I'm sorry, honey. Daddy's still got a lot to take care of back at the lab. I won't be able to come home for a while, but make sure you listen to what Mummy says and be a good girl for her, okay? And Sarah, please look after Kate. I don't think I'll be able to return home for a while. Seems like the redacted Space Observation Center found something that spooked them. According to them, it's some kind of meteoroid, and it's a lot larger than they expected. It sounds like they just made a rookie mistake in their calculations somewhere, though. I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. Oh yeah, of course it's nothing to worry about. Yeah, that's totally not tempting fate. Can't wait to finally get this over with and go home. Your potato gratin is 10 times better than the crap they're giving us here. Mac. So, we have 3 new people. Mac, Sarah, and Kate. See, at one point, if it weren't for the fact that his children were girls, I was thinking that maybe, like... At one point I had this vague crack theory that Sho and the N were brothers, but, yeah. Seems like no relation to the End or anything like that. Or is it? Maybe the End's real secret is he doesn't want us to know that his real name is Mac, which is admittedly a fairly bland name for a Dark Overlord. Anyway, though, this is... well, this is bad. Who's on the chopping block at the moment? Because if I want to do this, I'm gonna have to get Toya erased even though he's innocent. On the very, very slight plus side, it does mean that I won't need to worry about erasing innocents at all later on. So if there are any innocents later in the game getting erased, that's actually fine, because I will have to erase one anyway. It's gonna take 3 playthroughs anyway. So at least there's that. And at least it means on the 3rd playthrough I'm guaranteed to get this, so there's an absolute, well, not an absolute minimum of 3 playthroughs, minimum of 3 playthroughs provided that you max all 7 bonds you can in the 1st playthrough, which I did. But anyway... oh, this is gonna hurt. This is going to hurt. But, well, really... no use prolonging the judgment, I mean... I really didn't have to start... I really didn't want to have to start the judgments on the 2nd playthrough by erasing an innocent, but looks like I'm gonna have to. So I'm showing this scene because it's likely to have changed a bit.
What is this room? It seems so different.
Wait a minute. Skip dialogue should skip everything I've seen before. Let's do that. Okay, yeah, there's the end.
Participants are to take their place and begin their preparations.
So this is new because there's no skip button.
Whoa, what the heck was that? Judgment.
I don't get what's going on, but it looks like we're doing this whether we like it or not.
Damn it! You're joking, right?
Well, it does appear as though there's no way besides this for us to ascend. If we don't choose now, we might very well find ourselves spending eternity here.
How could this be?
Could there really be a traitor?
It's
possible, but we can at least be sure of one thing. We can't stop here. We have a mission.
Are we really going to believe what the end has told us?
Then do you actually plan on standing around here for the rest of your life? Well, I certainly don't.
Admittedly, Himeno probably would like being in a place like this for the rest of her life, somewhere that nullifies her pyrokinesis.
I'm moving on. Even if it ends up being the wrong decision, it's far better than remaining here doing nothing.
You're quite the bloke, Himeno, even though you're such a fit bird. But I have to agree with you. I won't stand simply idling here doing bugger all, waiting for the world to end. If that's the case, it'd be 100 times better to take some risks and try to move forward.
I understand what you're all saying. Really, I do. But this is just too much.
Wait a second. We still don't know what'll happen.
I'm quite interested in this whole erase business.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly I am too, seeing as we now know it doesn't kill people, it just sends them to the other world.
Calm down, everyone. There is no reason to bend an ear to what the end says, for we are the embodiment of justice.
And this time, we actually mean it, because he's not a traitor, which is actually pretty cool.
Let's face the music, guys. We have any other choice? There's no escaping this room.
So what the hell are we supposed to do?
Is there really no choice?
It may be. There is much cause for concern, but we don't have any other alternatives.
That can't be true. Let's try and think this through a bit.
And how long is a bit? An hour? A day? A week? Or shall we wait until the whole world is destroyed?
That's...
So it can't be helped because we don't have the time? But we still don't know what'll happen.
We don't know it's bad, right? It could be like winning a jackpot.
Interesting line there. But yeah, we actually don't know that it's bad. Then again, it seems pretty clear that the other world that the traders get sent to, or the people who get erased sent to, is about to be destroyed.
This isn't the time to be joking.
Looks like we have to make a decision. Remember why we came here, everyone.
Ugh. For the sake of justice, is this truly the only way?
Look, it's not a unanimous decision, but ultimately, we're gonna go through with this, right?
I actually like that they did, oh, so Sojiro and Zenji are the ones with 2 votes here. I actually like that they did give a totally new conversation for the first Judgment this time, and one that still makes sense within the context of what everyone knows at the beginning of the game. Sadly, there's gonna be a miscarriage of justice here. Unfortunately, I still need to max Marco's bonds, so I have to keep him around. I really didn't want to have to do this in my first Judgment, but I have to. It's the only way. This is going to be really painful. I really hope that I'd never get to see what happens if you erase an innocent. Oh no.
What a surprise. I wasn't expecting that result.
You don't sound
Who
surprised.
would have guessed I'd be the loser? It's pretty disconcerting. Here I was just trying to lead everyone and save the world. Looks like that whole plan fizzled. So you've decided to get rid of me, huh? How irritating. I'll say one thing though. Erasing me was a foolish decision. Oh well, no sense crying over matters now. I was chosen fair and square, so I should bow out gracefully. Before I go, let me just tell you from the bottom of my heart, I really do wish you all the best of luck on the mission. Farewell.
Oh, why? Why? That hurt. That really, really hurt. I mean, I was expecting it, but it was still painful. Oh. Why did my luck have to be so bad? And having a traitor around is going to make further deep visions really, really difficult, because does that mean he can still end up being a voice on later floors, and that could really screw the process up, meaning that I might need more than 2 VP to narrow things down? Well, as long as Sojiro and George make it through to the 4th floor, I really can't help but almost have to not even care about traitors anymore.
Complete.
Holy crap! They really just disappeared.
And this is new because there's no skip button.
How could this be?
And the first time George has survived this long.
They vanished. Does that mean they're dead?
They're not, but their actual fate could be pretty bad.
What the heck's going on here?
Curious. What do you think it might be? It's some kind of stone.
Well, we know that it's, we know what this stone is. But the materia question still remains. Erasure is a means of sending people from one world to another, but it seems like the materia can't make the trip.
That's all that's left of them?
Yeah. Interesting. Why is that the case? Why is it that you can send someone over, but you can't send the materia? The materia have to stay in one particular world.
This is cruel. How do we get ourselves involved in this?
It's partly your fault, actually.
Oh, could that be?
Everyone, over there!
And once again, the stairs appear. We didn't really see this in any of the other judgments.
Well, this is certainly a surprise.
That wasn't there before.
Was the one we erased really the traitor? Or did we erase an ally? Was there even a traitor? We have no way of knowing now.
And of course, this line only makes sense on a second playthrough, because in the first, you know that the one you erased was a traitor. Unfortunately, I know that the one we erased was an ally there, so...
But there is one thing we can say for certain. We found our way to reach the top.
No, we didn't, but that's just how luck went this time.
We can't let this sacrifice be in vain. We have to press on.
Admittedly, there was only roughly a 1/3 chance of being able to get the true final boss on my second run, so, yeah, I had a feeling that, I wouldn't be lucky enough. It's just how it goes with me sometimes. And so we're now... wait for it. Here we are. We're now back in Original Memory Do Not Steal. I can't believe I didn't make that reference the first time. Which means there'll most likely be another New Game Plus exclusive mission here. And some more New Game Plus exclusive files that we can get. And new equipment. Anyway, if we check the gate here, we now have memory doubts. Huh. So show's starting to get vague memories of past playthroughs. Okay, that's actually quite a lot of enemies. These Gravis Ds, they're quite difficult at this point in the game, especially those double shots and the freeze shots. Anyway, with S ranking that earlier memory, we've pretty much got S ranks in everything we can so far, so we're on our way to getting the S rank all missions trophy. And I think we... okay, that is a Bond conversation that we've seen before. This is obviously not. So this one, that I will be showing this one, but later, this one I'll just skip through off camera because I'm sure we've already seen that one before. Anyway, though, if I check the, this, we still have no data on visions. So, that's the end of that floor. So, I'll see you next time for, I guess, just a few minor details that I can find on this second floor. Maybe showing a few of George's lines if I can record them, and getting any files that I couldn't get in the first playthrough. So, see you then.